traveling along this road, what sights and sounds does it hold? You're traveling through this great nation. Your next stop, the imagination. Let's just give your worries the slip and embark on a weird road trip. Hello everyone. So, finished up the first trip. Then after that, I had purchased Jerome Polenz of Oddball, Minnesota. And then about 1 or 2 days after I had received that book in the mail, my father calls me up asking if I wanted to take a quick little trip to visit his brother all the way in Minnesota. And I was like, what a coinky dink. Maybe we'll be able to see some things on the way there. A few things in Wisconsin and a few things in Minnesota. So that's what we did. Because the main reason was the weather was supposed to be really nice that weekend. So why not take a little trip, visit? And so that's what we did. This video is going to be focusing on what we saw in Wisconsin. And the other one will be the Minnesota part. So, let's start our journey. We left early to help ensure that we would beat any bad weather.
Love you both.
Love you too, honey.
Hey, I'm going to see you tomorrow.
Yep.
That's quick.
Yeah, it is.
B&B, huh?
Yep.
And breakfast.
How long do you think we're going to have to deal with this snow? It's still fine in Minnesota.
Next left.
By the time we get to Minnesota, it should be pretty good. We have a lot bigger chance than they.
Well, we're all officially on our way. We are getting gas right now. And I was going to shave before I left. So, just means I'm going to have a 10 o'clock shadow as opposed to a 5 when we get to our destination. It's not... The snow's coming down, but by the time we get to Minnesota, there should be nothing there. It should be just like how things looked yesterday. Not a flake in the sky. No white to be found, except for the Caucasians. And after getting filled up, it was time to once again hit the road. And it would be a little while. We're going from Gillett all the way to Abbotsford to see our first site mentioned in Oddball, Wisconsin. We drove. course, the driving wouldn't last forever, would come to an end. And so, our first destination would fastly approaching.
Proceed about 7/10 of a mile to your destination.
Alright, so what are we coming up? Our destination being Hawkeye Dairy.
In half of a mile, your destination is ahead on the right.
Now, myself, and I am sure perhaps most of the people watching this video will be familiar with giant ice cream cones residing outside of dairy business related businesses. Sorry for the redundancy, but I've never seen one being held up by 2 wedges of cheese. And then, just like that, we were back on the road to go to Chippewa Falls to check out 2 sites, none of which were related to beer fully. Our first stop was a bar, the Red Zone Sports Bar, to see a statue of a big steer with a cheese head. Unfortunately for us,
Right
the
turn
establishment
at the end of the
no
road,
longer
and
seemed
then
to be
left
in
turn
business,
at the end of the road.
so it was time for us to move on to the next one.
What's the name of the next place?
Murray's Diner was the name of our next stop. Our goal, to see another large mouse.
Proceed about 7/10
And
of a
this
mile
proved to be yet
27
another bust. It's Egg Break Cafe now. Alright. However, we did cross this little guy.
That's
It was this point that we learned a valuable lesson. If you're going to check out things from a road guide published in a book that's over 15 years before the COVID, it's good to do a little research to see whether or not the places are still available for you to see. Well, that's the end of the first part. We'll be soon going over the border into Minnesota. So I hope to see you in that one too. And yes, this was a kind of a disappointing trip since we only saw one of the 3 things we tried. But I think next time we'll be able to make up with that. I'll be sure we will be able to see something big. So, I hope to see you for that one. And until then, take care, God bless, and we will fade to black. Should be good.